over at the library. Thought I'd go live because there's a crazy cootie, 50-ish over there. I came out of the library. Smoked a cigarette, took a little stroll through the dog park. I walked by her car like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet out because it's on the way. Waved to her, hey, don't you come in here. Gets at her phone, starts fucking gaslighting, narrating herself, all fucking psycho. But thought I'd go live so there's no questions of that crazy coot and I right there over there yapping to herself about insane things. And I've had enough of that lately. The 30th of September. Is that that ain't drunker bitch, is it? Oh, I thought that was my old neighbor. One screaming at me. There's a lot of crazy old ladies here. Like, I think COVID. Can we still talk? Can we talk about that now? Will I get banned for saying the C word? I don't know. I haven't been in the now or in the loop since that crap. Let's just say there might be some side effects. Quite a bit. Yeah, I walked out of the library. I got in my car, which is across the parking lot. I walked over to the dog park, and she just starts hopping out. You're disturbing me from making me work. I said, hi, lady. Like, leave me alone. I'm just smoking. Like, then she hops out of her car and then starts filming me. Like, you're disturbing yourself by fucking going off on this whack ass thing, Karen confrontation thing you got to do to make yourself feel better about yourself. Like, smoke a ball. I just did, and it was lovely. Actually, yeah. But 17% THCs. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't know. I'm probably getting banned on all this, but it's live, so I could just delete the thing, right? I don't know. Yeah, I just needed a witness out there in case some sort of deputy comes rolling up, waving his freaking Barney 5 bullet on me or something. But oh yeah. Now that I'm doing the whole video thing, 30th September. Somehow I'm in Arlington and Monroe at the same time, and Grand Falls, all at the same time. Also the same day, I filed a calendar note demanding my motion to dismiss for this DCYF one arc circus. They couldn't afford the ring. They just got an arc. Sideshow freaking horse crap. They're now 170 days past their from the start, which is 100 days past, 165 days past 75-day maximum mandatory dismissal with prejudice. They found my ex-wife dependent again. Third time. Well, first time was the divorce, where I got 100% custody. Excuse me. When my kid was 3 months to 11 months old, I got the baby, which is unheard of here in Washington. They got a mandate, law, statute, preference, policy, prejudice, whatever you want to call it. It's what they do. Baby goes to mom no matter what if it's under 4 years old, period, because men suck. And down with toxicity, right? But there was so much abandonment and neglect and abuse, and I don't want to rag on her. She does enough ragging on me to talk enough shit for both of us. And I don't do that in front of my kid either, because I don't want her hating the memory of something that she didn't know and didn't have a chance to judge or experience herself. But she does now, because them damn DCYF bitches. Nightmare. Hi, how do you? You're my fan. I'm glad I'm talking to somebody. No, yeah, that woman. DCYF on the 30th. Simultaneously got the neighbor that used to work for them to call up and say that I'm following little blonde girls around. Heavy quotes. It didn't even happen. Said her mom called her. It was this neighbor posing as her mom or some crap, and some 18-year-old delinquent was walking down the street on their phone doing this, and I'm going out the driveway. She's walking and walks in front of me. I'm like, oh, stop. I was like, oh, hi. And she details on, and I drive away and go down the block around and go hit the shade on the opposite side of the little ditch thing here in the library. Get over all the way on the block to get over to the dog park over there. And I go park in my tree spot, and you can still get the Wi-Fi from the library and do the all my Word and Office 365. And I'm over there, and she meanders around and walks over there, and okay, hi again, whatever. Going to the I don't want to be mean. What's the school they call the school for the kids that get the D- the whole way through and have the not the honor roll school, the other school, the other high school, you know. But whatever, Cole, that's awesome. Fine with me. Like 3 days later, Chief of Police rolls up on me and like, hey, I gotta talk to you about following little blonde girls around. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, he's like, well, there's a problem. I'm like, well, this bullshit. And I told you this is going to happen in the email, didn't I? I'm like, I just talked to the some people. They're not state. They're of the other department of government, the Lincoln side, not the Davis side. And shit's starting to go down, court-wise and legal-wise with the 9th District and this other stuff. All cases are finally over the hump and moving towards the end of crap. And I decided to, I'm not waiting for the kangaroo court to kangaroo me anymore. They wanted to, so they got the 75-day mandatory dismiss. I'm jumping all over the place. 75-day mandatory to dismiss with prejudice, which means DCYF can't do it again. Wife got found dependent again because she had a new baby with dude number 3. I haven't talked to her in 7 years. Still haven't talked to her. But DCYF wanted to take new baby, who wasn't born yet, back in February, and my child, who's 8 years old now and has grown up 8 years with me. They wanted to unplace her from me, which I had a Superior Court judge sign the custody parenting plan and the order and the decree and all that. So she has no contact order with the trigger clause that DCYF made me write. They had to approve every little bit of my divorce with the Attorney General to make sure everything was right so the man could get the baby. And so there's a trigger clause if she goes by her not good ex-boyfriend. If she takes my child near that family. It was a history of horrible atrocities towards children and a whole lot of racism thing going on. But he got kicked out of the racism part because, the atrocities towards children's part. They don't like that kind of crap, apparently. And DCYF made me put that clause in there. So she got herself an 18-year no contact order with my daughter. So DCYF completely didn't bother to read that. Didn't bother to read the last 7 years, and it's like 4,500 pages worth of frickin' just documents, medical records, and frickin' reference calls, and like there's so much goddamn paper, and like maybe 30 pages if it's me and my fake reference calls. But the rest of it's like, oh my God, they got like every medical record for my daughter and my ex-wife's two other kids, and like the 2 times she got dependent on them, and I don't have my own file. So when you call up, maybe this is educational, somebody's going through divorce or family law or whatever with CPS or DSHS or DCYF. Men, you don't get your own file. It goes under the mother. So when you say, hey, DCYF, I need that records request form. Can I have my file? I need to know the case file. It's, because you called a case on me. It says right in the law, social worker is to provide client with a paper copy of the case file. Period. I've asked for it for 7 years, twice a year. Where the hell is this damn thing? They're like, oh, it's confidential. You can't have it. Confidential, you can't have it. I'm like, well, it says right here, RCW 13. Whatever the hell, 1334. 62? 120? I don't know, something. I've got it written down somewhere. But it says they're supposed to give you this document of who your accuser is and what you're accused of, so you can have some sort of legal process. Due process? Is that what they call it? Due process, yes. But they don't. You're a man, you're toxic, you suck. We're trying to breed you out and put yellow armbands on you. Because they're socialists, every single one of them. Nationally funded and nationally spread out and well-funded and socialists. So they're national socialists with their own mercenary group. Pretty much private army, and they are exempt from all American laws. They wrote it themselves in their own law they wrote in Washington State, the RCW, 1334. Blah, blah, blah. All DCYF employees are immune from criminal prosecution and civil liability. Period. Full stop. Next sentence. Next paragraph, next law. Why does a health department worker need complete immunity from criminal acts? And why would you write that in there? If you're not committing criminal acts with criminal intention and willful fucking evil. You wouldn't. Isn't it like, I got Asperger's. That would be the last thing I'd be able to write a law. And as long as we're making this money mint, all the money printed, half of it goes to me. Nothing strange going on here. No. And oh, by the way, you can't prosecute me for stealing all the money because I'm a man, right? That's about as much sense as it makes to me. If you give somebody infinite forgiveness, they're going to commit infinite evil or infinite atrocities because there's no consequence. And why would you want to alleviate yourself of the consequence of criminal liability or criminal prosecution if you're not breaking the fucking law? I'm immune from bank robbery, so I'm going to go rob a bunch of banks because I work as the Parks Department maintenance dude. I don't, but that'd be a good job actually. Diddly crap. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand working for the government. Too slow. Almost as bad as the big B over here. I did a tool making job for him once as a fixture for window shades. I needed a 1/2-inch open end wrench. Took me 3 freaking days. It was sitting on the wall, 20 feet away. Nope, you can't touch that. We got the tool maker to do that. I'm like, I am the tool maker. Contract. Nope, we got to get our guy. He doesn't come in until blah, 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 whatever shift. And we got to fill out this form and that form. And he's got to walk over there and get this and then requisition it. And then 3 days later, I got the freaking wrench to turn my nut. Couldn't bring my own because it wasn't AS 9100. Quality assured. But that's all right. Anyway, DCYF. Lion bitches. no ability to prosecute them criminally, unless, here's where Uncle Sam steps in. They intentionally commit a crime. See, when you've never been accountable for anything, you really don't kind of like foresee the accountability things. Turns out Uncle Sam's already done this because they've had 200 years at it, and pretty much every snaky shit has been tried and perfected and codified into politics. Yeah, if you intentionally go out and murder somebody or delete somebody, sorry, YouTube, then you're not immune. What do you know? If you've what is it? Rican versus something. Hardwick versus Rican. If you go out and intentionally commit fraud to create a case around somebody's Minority Report. If the cop goes out and arrests you for cocaine, and then you're in jail, and 3 weeks later they're like, "Oh, here's the cocaine I found today. It was in my pocket the whole time. What do you know?" It's called framing. It's called the Spanish Inquisition. It's fitting you to a crime. You have a quota of, we need this many kidnappings, we need this many bank robberies, we need this many traffic violations and assaults and whatever. Okay, we're down on DVs today. Let's go knock on doors in the trailer park and find somebody who's drunk. Yep. Oh, there's somebody drinking PBR. No. Oh, that one's got Budweiser. He's rich. Let's go get him. We can get some money out of him. Turn him upside down. But so the 30th, back to where I was trying to go here. The 30th, I file the judge's civil motion in Superior Court, which takes it out of the redacted marsupial land, which is secret and you can't see on the case file server or anything. It's hush hush because it's juvenile, and we don't want anybody to know the extent of the criminality that's going on in there, because they kidnap 60,000 kids a year just in Washington State to shovel them into this program where DCYF can give you services and ironically make you dependent on the federal government and state government, food stamps and vouchers to Fred Meyer and clothes and shoes and hotel vouchers for the horizontally employed and no shit. TANF and the baby stuff and WIC and all that crap. And Uber vouchers and free Berry phones and you name it, like some of these people are just, that's their job. They just go down to DCYF and beg for programs. But if you make over $1,700, it used to be $1,200. If you make over $1,700 a month, you don't qualify for it. So they've been trying to shove down my throat, services. I'm like, I'm not taking your services. I don't need them. I won't get them anyway, so there's no point in applying. And C, I already did every single one of them out of pocket the first time during the divorce. I took lesbian underwater basket parenting, frickin' domestic violence, frickin' drug abuse, frickin' bestiality, fucking like some of this shit they came up with, like, is like, holy crap, people have this stuff. Oh my God. So I had to take all of them at my own expense. Mental health evaluation with a psychologist and divorce counselor and a pastor. I'm like, the state's making me go see a fucking priest? Are you like, what? Okay. And then UAs, because my wife, she is, I don't know what she's doing now, but she was real bad into the opiates and the not opiates. Well, she claimed for PCP once. That's something, right? On the 13th panel, I mean, you're doing good there. Yeah, when she said I'm doing drugs, I didn't think all of them. Okay. Buffet it is. How's that work in Vegas? So they made me, she admitted to doing all this crap. And they're like, cool, here's your hotel voucher, $500 a month for Canada. Here's your $500 food stamps. Here's some, here's a telephone. And if you need a ride anywhere, you just give me a call, okay? Mm-hmm. Those are services. We love it. And you, Mr. Stetler, you're going to pay us $25,000 for this freaking mental evaluation. $3,100 a month. Fucking 6 months. A lot. 18,000, a lot. And then each little, the divorce parenting class, which was an hour and a half at somewhere in University Place, $250. One was like $375. They had all these single dads classes, and then parenting, divorce. You got to think about your divorce, and then how to handle custody classes, and one sheet syllabus. Dude gets up there, talks for an hour, and rakes in like 10, 20 grand. But there was like 20 or 30 of these damn things. It was like I had to do them all, and I paid for them. And this time I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. You snatched my kid from daycare to make this union of siblings bullcrap happen, because you get double the money and double the fun and more money for the insulin truck. You know, you kidnapped my kid. Don't call by any other name. You knocked on my door the day before and said, you've got a new case. I'm like, no, I don't. If you tell whoever called, eat it. I told the last social worker no less than a week and a half ago. Can I smoke some weed in front of my kid and do something to keep you on as my social worker? Because if you have one, all the intake calls go to them. They funnel up. And they're just like, yeah, whatever bullshit. I know you already interviewed you. But if you don't have one, they'll go to the bureaucratic intake call center or whatever, and then you'll trickle down to a new social worker, and they'll start it from scratch. They won't read the history. They won't look up your file. They won't do nothing. They'll start the entire thing. Okay, you're apparently this happened, so we're going to do this. She knocks on my door, and I'm like, I told the last guy, I'm like, this is the 10th time through. 9th, 10th, 11th. A lot. I counted 14 the other day that I didn't know about because I just got a new section of paper that's 700 pages thick. I can't remember them all. There's so many. She knocks on my door. You've got a new report of neglect and educational neglect. And I'm like, no, I don't. I homeschool. Well, the school, I don't give a shit. I disenrolled her in February because they're worthless. They're teaching her, they're hitting her with a ruler and cutting her with scissors and trying to get her to say stuff that isn't true. Like, my daddy does drugs, because they taught her in second grade, the whole grade, cigarettes are drugs, kids. And if you see your parents smoking cigarettes, you go tell the socialist here that works at DCYF, harvesting you children, that you saw your parents doing drugs. And if they drink anything that's not water, that's called drinky drugs. And if you see them drinking something that's not water, you go tell the social worker here, you saw your parents doing drinky drugs. And then that's 2 accounts of negligence and abuse. And then the attendance secretary here, she's going to forge up some numbers. Now you got 3. You got a CPS case. Congratulations. Da-da-da-da. You're in the system. You're fucking doing services, damn it. Or we're kidnapping your kid. And this has been going on every 3 months, 6 months since 7 years. It's really come to a head this last year. I've had 4 of them. Grandma and Grandpa I took my daughter from them. They were supposed to babysit there. She was supposed to stay there for 3 months to finish off her school while I moved up north to get an apartment and everything set up for Freya. But they started having problems, and Freya was chemically induced heavily one day. Let's just say that. So I pulled her out and brought her up here. And they called up CPS and the school that I pulled her out of, that I explained everything to, and I've been talking to them about it for like since I moved, like for a month. I'm like, we're going to move up here and this and that, and we're not going to be here next year. And talked to the principal and everybody down there. I really loved the school actually. But grandparents got up in there. No, we've had custody of Freya for 5 years. What? No, you haven't. Where the hell did you get off with that? Because they wanted the freaking the foster parent and care and shelter and whatever the hell service money. Because if you're a houser or a guardian or one of these foster parents, you get like $3,000 a month per kid plus another $2,000 in benefits, like food and vouchers and like it's seriously like $6,000 a month in between cash and everything else. It's money. And if you could do a Chimo halfway house, or this one on Cairo 7 the other day, they got a dude down in Enumclaw, or it's got a house, and he runs the halfway house for the guys off Predator Island, whatever they call it up here in Washington. They got an actual island. Cool, leave him out there, sink the island. But he works there as like one of the probation board elector guys, and he owns a house, and he writes himself a contract to do the halfway house, and they pay him like $14,000 a month per inmate. Like, this dude's fucking raking in like $5 million a month to have a 5-bedroom house, like 2 or 3 of them, and just housing fucking probation parole chimos. Just a prick, dude. DCYF's the same way, but with kids. This guy's actually got some ethics. I mean, he's defrauding the government, but, you know, adults, fucked off as they are in Japan, then you just how do with your head. Probably a good policy, in my opinion. But DCYF, children, really bad. The 30th, I filed in the big boy court, which is now recorded, the dismissal and the contempt of court, which nobody apparently has ever done on the government. But I did. Because they disobeyed the judge's order. Twice. For, if you count daily, 90. I'm supposed to have visits with my daughter. First started off with 2 3-hour visits. And then I'm like, that's kind of horrible, but whatever. It should only take 2 weeks, right? Okay, no. No. From this April 23rd to May 19th, they didn't let me talk to my daughter at all. Not one bit. And I told my lawyer, file contempt. This is ridiculous. I need to see my daughter. She got kidnapped. She doesn't know what's going on. What the hell? And she's like, oh, well, it's the government. You can't file contempt. You can't contempt on the government. I'm like, bullshit, you can't. She said I couldn't file dismissal either. But even though there's 11 different separate reasons to file dismissal and get dismissal, you only need one. One of these 13 is on their choice, and I had 11 of them. Minus the 75-day mandatory, which I didn't know about, and I thought it was 60 days. But 75 independency, apparently. So 12 reasons. Couldn't file it. Didn't file a thing. Filed one thing. 2 pages about civil rights and constitutional amendment breaches that I wrote 48 pages of, and she just kind of cherry picked 4 or 5 sentences and put it in the day 5 of the hearing. And that was it. For 3.5 months. I spent hours and hours and thousands of hours writing tedious declarations in response to DCYF's claims and allegations and coming with proof and witnesses and testimony. And each little bullcrap lie they tell, you have to go in and bullet point and say, well, no, the sky is not actually fluorescent yellow. You see, because when the light refracts through water, it bends it slightly, and you get the wavelength change, and it bends the red light out more than the blue light, and then you get blue light. And you have to explain the whole reason why, and then the language, and then the nomenclature, and then the etymology of that nomenclature to prove they're one thing wrong. Unless you can get like a logical corollary, which is, well, the last 17 line items you've said have been provenably false, and here's my works cited, and damn near a master's thesis on every single freaking one. Can we go with number 18's not going to be true either? You know, but they do it on purpose to stress you out and make you go through paper and make the lawyers go through paper, which are on the public pretender ticket, and you get paid by the same people anyway. So, you know, it's just churn a bunch of work for nobody and steal kids while you're doing it. So I file that, and I just found out today when I was doing another filing, I'm looking on there and looking at my name. I'm like, there's two there's one district and one municipal court that are like 60 miles away from each other. I live in the middle. One's in Arlington for some traffic violation I have no freaking clue what's about. I'm like, they're like, it's $180. I'm like, the officer who pulled you over would have mentioned it to you. Like, I didn't get pulled over. Like, I would have known, like, if I got pulled over, especially in Arlington. That's way the hell out there. I rarely even go there. Like, I'll dip into Smoky Point, but that's North Marysville. And off the west side there on the big giant apartment buildings, but I don't go deep Arlington. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking to scroll another page. I got a cyber harassment. Because of these videos, actually. Out of Monroe, from the DCYF employee, the Special Socialist Investigator, the SS officer, can't make that up, because my text messages of him explaining how he kidnapped my child and is extorting me for money, ransoming my daughter if I don't do exactly what he says and take his services that they won't offer me. Do these services. What services, Sean? I don't qualify for them. Services. I don't qualify, dude. Here. Look. It's your own policy. I don't qualify. Services. If you want to check off your form that I did services February through freaking August 2017. Services. All of them. Well, they need services. Anyway, I caught him defrauding Limited Police with a fake court filing, lying about 2 months, and trying to cover up the abuse of my daughter. She was getting hit at the place she was at and was scared to talk and was flinching when I went to hug her, and the social worker, transport lady, put her hand on her shoulder. She was flinching, just scared as hell, and I'm pissed. This is like month 4 now, or month 5 now. And I'm just like, you piece of shit. I just went off. I went off on him. And never an actual threat. It was always causatory, which is not threatening. It's intimidating rhetoric, but it's not a threat. If you walk in front of that bus going 90 miles an hour, that bus is going to squish you and you're going to die. That's not a threat. That's a causatory statement. If you continue to occlude the law, kidnap my daughter, and keep pushing out this bullcrap freaking kangaroo show another 6 months, 9 months, a year, I will have no choice but to be an American citizen, take that into my own hands, and be daddy and do something to get my daughter back that is not filing freaking paperwork. And you're in the way, and the sheriff ain't going to be in my way. There's going to be blood, probably mine, getting shot doing it, but I will rip my own goddamn arm off and pummel the person in front of me on my way to my daughter, because that's what parents do, Sean. The fact that you can't understand, that was another thing. They made all these 7 crap allegations against me. Abuse, negligence, educational negligence, abandonment, sexual abuse, and physical malnourishment. There's like 7 of them you have to get dependency case, and they chat GPT'd all 7 of them, which is fucking scary because they did chat GPT it. If you type in, go to GPT, write me a dependency case petition for whatever state you're in and whatever state law, Washington, it's RCW 1334, and the clauses within that, and it'll tink, 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 tink. 2 seconds later, you've got a 30-page freaking filing, and that anybody, that the person it's against has to prove incorrect, because you're guilty until proven innocent. You have to prove your innocence, which is also unholy American. And I started off nice for 2 months, and then my lawyer started screwing me over, and then I started not getting court hearings, and the hacking with all my freaking evidence disappearing out of my house, and my hard drive is blowing up, 3 computers and 2 clouds, offsite storages. How in the hell? Luckily, I'm over precautious, as one would say. I'll go bury a USB drive in the forest, especially when it's something of this magnitude, when you're in a lawsuit with your child, or a suit for the child, and your life's on the line, and you decided to be an idiot and sue the state attorney general, the court, the sheriff's office, NDCYF, the health department, all the money and all the power in the state all at once, and you know you have incontrovertible evidence, but they've got all the money and the power and the corruption, so they'll do any and all things to make it stop. And they didn't actually think they were up against anything, because nobody's ever done this before, apparently. Or if they have, they stopped at like step 2. I will die for my daughter. I will die trying to get my daughter back, because I didn't do any of this shit. I've been a good father, or the best I can frickin' be. I've been a good dad. I'm better than most. Good as some, you know? I ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I don't beat my daughter. I don't frickin' abuse my daughter one goddamn bit. She's spoiled like crazy, and I dote on her, and I protect her, and I've homeschooled her for 3.5 years. And this only started with public school in the last year. And it's ridiculous. Like our pod, our school pod, great, no problem. Like, she's a great kid. She really is. And I love it. I wouldn't trade being a dad for anything. Like, you're broke all the time, and you've got no time for friends or socializations or parties or whatever the hell. But you know what? Grow up. That's being an adult, right? Your life is devoted to another human being. That's what love is. Love is sacrifice. And these cat-owning insulin collectors wouldn't know that, because they've never had a man. B, don't have a personality to get some. C, their bodice type is pi r cubed. And yeah, the tanker truck full of insulin. Instead of the water cooler, most people go around the office to have water cooler talk. They go to have insulin jug talk. 5 gallon thing. You stick your arm in there. Freaking 3D prints of freaking whatever. Hypospray, that's what I was going for. Star Trek thing. Oh yeah, I got my insulin fixed for the day. I'm gonna go eat another gallon of Haagen-Dazs. Oh. But yeah, so I'm suing all of them, and I finally get him. I'm like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. The attorney, prosecuting attorney, assistant attorney general just keeps recycling. You're supposed to have evidence. They're supposed to have a fact finding after 30 days. 30 days was May 23rd. No, we can't do that. We need time for discovery and evidence and serving people. They didn't serve me till July. They skipped over like 8 steps and just kidnapped my kid. And like, oh, we'll get to it fucking later. We got her now. Ha. I already found my ex-wife dependent, and they just keeps kicking my shelter care can down the street. And I filed petition after petition and motion after motion. They won't hear any of my hearings. Like, they just keep skipping over it. I'm like, what the hell? And ridiculous. And they're supposed to have evidence. The evidentiary rules are supposed to apply on the 30-day hearing. Well, now my fact-finding hearing is scheduled February 15th of 2025. It was supposed to be May 29th or 23rd. And then it was August 5th for some reason. And then it's supposed to be October 4th. And then it was December 4th. And now it's February 15th for 30 days. That's 10 months. A little fucked off there, state. So I said, screw it. If you guys are going to keep burying me in this and talking all this crap, they called my job, and my job was the guy I was working for was just like, I can't handle this harassment anymore, dude. We're gonna have to let you go, because they just call and then show up and they'd be like, he's under investigation for this and just fucking bug the fuck out of everybody. And I went around all my neighbors and oh my God, they're so evil. And fucking it's so hard. It's bad. In one of the declarations, he's like, Mr. Stetler is unable to control his behavior and his emotions, and not knowing the impact on his daughter. And I'm like, listen, asshole, you kidnapped my kid. I'm well aware of what you did, and I'm in control. You're still breathing. That's control. The fact that you're doing that, throwing paper at me, means I am in control, asshole. You're lucky I'm in control. If I was another man, there'd be a whole different story. And there'd be bars right here. Or plexiglass. So yeah, that asshole, he filed on the 30th when I filed the motion to go to the big boy court, not the secret kangaroo land. Take all this. I took all the files. Boom! Public record, bitches. And I want it recorded. Judge's civil motion calendar. That asshole recuses himself. He's not the social worker anymore. Oh, I'm done. Oh, God. Conflict of interest. No, run away. The attorney general and her 7 frickin' underlings that she hired to prosecute me because I'm uncomprehendibly, ununderstandably incapable of knowing the consequences of representing yourself pro se in dependency court. That's the whole paragraph. No. She tried to file Title IV guardianship on me, claiming that I'm mentally incompetent and have me institutionalized because I went pro se. She was actually terrified that I would actually get some of my evidence through, and having beaten the same woman in 4 previous cases this year and the last part of 2023, she doesn't have a great track record with Mr. Library litigant pro se Lincoln Douglas debate winner. But she's got a Stanford law degree, She's an attorney general assistant. She's in charge of the whole county thing and DCOIF and busy girl. Or busy paralegals. So they all blocked me on the email chain. Real mature. Also, ethics violation, ABA. Come on! Do some stuff. So she tried to file mental incompetency on me, have me institutionalized the day after I got pro se and got to be my own lawyer or attorney, represent myself. She did that and had the hearing for that like 2 days later, and I was so pissed. I'm like, oh, how dare you! Ah! I went through and picked apart every freaking thing she'd ever done, and I had like a 20-page, 30-page thing to just flip it right back on her ass. And I'm like, I'm going to be mature for once in my life, and I'm going to let it ride. So I decided I'm going to take the acceptance of the filing of conservator for me, which apparently you can do up to 16 times in Washington colloquially. Who knew? I didn't know anything about the probate guardianship law until now, but thanks for getting me through that part of law school. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. That's how we're doing here at Madison, Jackson, Locke, and Stettler. Library litigants, men's rights, constitutional law, and or some other smart ass thing I put on there at the bottom of my soon-to-be letterhead. God damn, it was clever too. The frickin' she recuses herself. Brings in big boy number 2 in the state, because number 1 is running for governor, ironically enough. And I filed contempt on her and DCYF, the Sean guy, for colluding and obfuscating and willfully intentionally not allowing my visits and breaching a freaking judge's court order. You were in contempt. Straight up. You're in contempting a court order. And I'm holding true to mine, which are completely illegal and unconstitutional, but I'm still doing it because I don't want to spend a year in jail. They ordered me to not talk to my daughter about this case. So I can't talk to her about what's going on in her life, why she got kidnapped, what daddy's accused of, how this process is working, why she can't call daddy, why she can't see daddy, why she can't talk to daddy. I can't explain anything of what's going on. I have been her rock, her father, her go-to guy since she was born. Daddy, how do I? Daddy. And now she doesn't have him and can't ask him a damn thing about what's going on, and they've got her terrified. They say, you can't ask your daddy about what's going on or the court case, or we're going to take him away forever and you're never going to see him again. They're threatening her with that. And she's like terrified to talk because she wants to know. She's like, Daddy, this is happening in my life, and I'm telling you what's going on. We've always had a real good back and forth conversation. I taught her to talk, and walk, and throw a ball, and ride a bike, and everything. Math, English, reading. I taught that little kid everything. And they just rip her away so they can make money. And I told a woman no. Like, fuck you, Gutierrez. Go back to Venezuela. You want to spread your fucking communism, bitch. Seriously. And they're like, oh, we don't like it when he says we kidnapped his daughter. Well, what would you like me to call it? Placement? That's even fucking worse. That's slavery. That's trading in human lives, you fucking idiot. God. Placement. Yes, you place an object. If you have an object, then you objectify something. Humans have free will and can go where they please most of the time, unless you're enslaving them and turning them into an object. Objects can be owned. You can have custody, another buzzword, of an object. Therefore, now you have ownership of another person, which is fucking illegal everywhere. And then you're trading this person for financial goods or bartering or some sort of value. That is trading. Slavery, enslavement, objectifying human and trading them for bargainable, fungible things. Slave trading. Trading in human lives. But I will say this. Uncle Tom's frickin' owner and the auction block valued that motherfucker way more than DCYF values children. That dude average back in the 1860, whatevers, $400,000, $500,000 in today's totally deflated bullshit money. That's a lot. And you got to keep him alive and his family and do that. And you valued his children because they would make you more money because he was an asset. That's how that worked. DCYF, the average human life to them, a child's life to them, is worth $36,000 to $45,000 over 15 to 36 months. And they siphon the rest off into whatever bureaucratic fucking suckhole of laundry they got. But actual cash, I guess it goes to paying Fred Meyer and vouchers and stuff. I don't know. They don't know because there's no full accounting of it, and it's secret redacted as well. You can't audit it. It's got kids' names on it. Well, where does the 1.4 billion a year go? Well, only 363 got taken into dependency in 2019, and they keep the records 5 years out. Like, well, 1.4 billion divided by 2,000 divided by 20, average of 15 and 30, 27, whatever. It's anywhere between, if you go on the low end, it's like 42, 36,000 if you're shoving percentage off, and 62 to 68 on the high side. Any which way, 45 to 60,000 kids is way too many, and not 363. And if it is 363, you need 1.4 billion fucking dollars to take 300 kids away? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what is that? 1.4 billion, like fucking 750, 600 grand a kid? Like, really? So, on 30th, I filed in big boy court. Social worker files the cyber harassment for all my text messages I sent him, telling how he's an evil puke, and I just went through and line itemed and yelled, and well, I voiced to text, so I was yelling, but he didn't know it. It's in the text. And I only communicate with text with these ghouls because it's written down and you can use it as admissible evidence. And I'm very careful when I'm talking to people because I'm a constitutionalist, and especially government types where they love to, just obstruct, obfuscate, and lie completely all the time. I never make it, I'm going to blah, blah, blah you. No. So if you keep up this stupid behavior, I will have no choice but to act in this manner. Out of duty and honor and consequence of humankind and my citizenry and my oath to the country. And oh shit, I gotta start this. Otherwise I'm gonna have a dead battery. I've done it like 3 times the last week because I've had an inverter in here on breaks and stuff. I'll type up some sort of legal paper. There's so much paper. 5,000 pages of evidence times 3 for working copy, court's copy. It's ridiculous. Shut that off so you can hear. I just had to make sure it was doing. And then the attorney general, assistant attorney general, she recused herself. There's a new attorney general, and now there's a new social worker. So they're like, oh shit, I guess this federal thing, and our name's going to be in public now. Oh God, run away, run away, run away, run away. Here you go, 2 new people. And I'm just like, hey, sorry, I don't know you from Adam, but you got 5,000 pages to read in 2 days. You got this hearing and this hearing on Friday. I finally, it took 3 weeks of scheduling. The clerks didn't want to do it. None of the judges wanted to take it. There was always some technicality. Oh, we can't do that. And I'm like, no, it's happening. I'm like, the clerk in the dependency court will not accept any evidence whatsoever. I've got the motions in after calling her out on it. That she accepted the motions, but she won't set a hearing. She won't do the calendar date. She won't set the hearing on the date. And the states had like 3 or 4 hearings. And I'm like, can I get my, I've had this on the block, like state law and Supreme Court rules and Snohomish County Court rules say motion, date, that one goes first. The one that's filed behind it, they go in order of date filed. And mine were 2 months back, and we've had like 3 hearings. Why her and not me? And and stop. It just ignore me. I'm like, fine. I'm gonna take it, the whole stack. I don't care if I'm embarrassed. They keep saying, "You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself." I ain't got no shame. I don't give a shit. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm exposing your fucking crime, asshole. I don't have shame in that. I don't care what it does to me or my reputation or how I look or how fucking crazy I am or how pissed off I am. Fuck you, DCYF. fuck you. Oh, look at you. You're screaming at a fucking camera. Yeah, because you kidnapped my kid, dumbass. How do you not fucking understand that? He did that too. Look how mad he gets. Look how mad he is 3 months in after us lying, getting him fired, dissolving his job, screwing his reputation, getting the whole town ready to frickin' pitchfork his ass because of our lies. Finally gets them calmed down, and then, what do you know? The same day, Sean and Monroe files his harassment charge. Cyberbullying is what it ended up being. And the Attorney General recuses herself. And lo and behold, their old, the neighbor friend that used to work for them is retired, comes up with me chasing this little girl around town. All on the same day within like 2 hours. So somehow I'm in Arlington, 20 miles that way. I was at the library the whole day doing filings. I'm on fucking camera, like 9 different cameras. And then I was 40 miles down the other way in Monroe, all at the same time, all within 2 hour period. It's physically not possible. And that's how you get them. They're such liars. They have a time discrepancy dimensionality problem. One of their allegations that they were totally bent, that is recycled. They got a reference from my wackadoo neighbor who's like on every freaking, she's like out there. I had a dream that he was in a mental health institution from May 1st to May 1st, 2027. They wrote it fucking down. And then the AG repeated it on freaking court paper. I'm like, you got some sort of freaking flux capacitor thing going? Is that what the DeLorean of the library is about? Is that for real? Like, time dilation device? Is there some sort of mirror device we've got going on? Maybe a phasic touchy thing? Did you get hit by a tachyon field? Like, what the fuck? What was the Vertigon particles? Verteron particles. Taking a Klingon warbird, maximum warp around the sun counterclockwise. Like, none of their stuff lines up. Like the date, like they'll say Monday, the 2nd of whatever, and it's actually a Thursday. And Mr. Stetler clawed his good light. I bite my fingernails. They're fleshy nubs. With calluses because I play guitar. Clawed his daughter so deep that it left a wound for a month solid, and the daughter showed her a scrape on her knee and a scab that happened yesterday when she fell on the skateboard ramp. And Your Honor, ask anybody I've ever met ever. I've not on these things since I was like 3, nervous habit. There's no way I could claw, period, at all. And second, you misandric, frickin' matriarchal-led, homogenous group of worthless, carboniferous, genomic amines in some water. That is the most feminine freaking allegation. You can totally tell that author was a female. Because men, I don't care if you were the gayest of the gay, queerest of the queer, marching down Mardi Gras in the Pride Parade in Seattle with your cock out, painted purple, doing God knows what, I don't, nipple pierced dick nipples, whatever, just sucking 45 cocks down the street. RuPaul, crossdressers, whatever, however gay you are. I don't care who you are when you get in fight or flight. Man's first reaction is go there. No man, straight, gay, whatever, virgin has ever thought I'm going to take my lady fingernails and claw you. Like, come on. If you'd hire a man in that entire freaking 7,000 person money laundering, domestic terrorism escapade, you'd know that. He would have said, no, make him backhand or like something physical. Clawing, really? That's what fucking third grade girls do to boys when they pull their hair. Come on now. Like, give me a break. And like they use the GPT too, because it uses like popular literal and movie imagery. One of them was Mr. Stetler gets so drunk that he passes out for 2 to 3 days at a time. I don't drink. I have a beer a year, maybe. Right now, I smoke pot. Freaking and he drinks out of a bottle. The bottle is brown, and it looks dirty, and it has a paper bag on it. That's like the iconic cliche freaking drunk dude in Miracle on 34th Street or whatever Hollywood. Oh, yeah, bum on the corner. A brown, dirty bottle with chips in it because he's... What is that? A freaking homie from In Living Color at least got a mason jar. Well, that was a pee, though, wasn't it? Yeah, with a little turd floating. God, that was a funny show. Was that Damon Wayans? Marlon Wayans? One of them Wayans. I don't know. Funny. Same day, I file big boy court. They file all this crap on me. So now I've got 2 cases of in a criminal nature, but they couldn't do it in Superior Court because I'm suing Superior Court, and that would be conflict of interest, obviously. So they did it in their hometowns. The old Arlington up there with one I know who lives up there, and Monroe with where their headquarters is. And funny, Monroe PD, you're going to have to file some filings for me and do some charges for me too. Because if I am guilty or able to be arraigned for cyberbullying, then definitely, as you told me, they told me 4.5 months ago, that almost 6 months ago, shit, 23rd is 6 months, fuckers. They told me back then, Monroe police told me, we can't go arrest them for kidnapping. No. How about now? 6 months later, you got 5,000 pages of proof and evidence. And actually, you have them, Monroe PD. You have my every text message to this asshole saying, where's my visit? Why did you stop my visit? I was on time. This stupid supervisor decided to be late and cancel the visit. And she decided to text me 45 minutes after the confirmation time, even though I confirmed her 2 hours earlier, and say she's stopping the visit. And I talked about a different case, and she said I was talking about that case, and then gaslit me, and then made lies up about me. And one day she wanted to go on a date, pretty much. Well, let's go to Edmonds and walk around the waterfront and do the old person. I'm like, lady, I'm not driving to Edmonds. You're already making me drive to Linwood from freaking goddamn Granite Falls. I'm not going to Edmonds. And she's, no, we're not having a visit then. I wanted to go to Edmonds. I'm like, you're supposed to be at my behest and simplicity here to keep the familial bond. Like, they don't obey their own policy. They don't obey the state law. They don't obey federal law. And they smugly and contritely say they are exempt from the Constitution, everything, and basically every American tenet and value whatsoever, period. But they like American dollars. And they want to take your kids and turn them socialist too. Watch out for drinky drugs, cigarettes or drugs, anybody a social worker, attendants, secretaries, and sneaky pi r squared principles. Date alone. I don't want to stop at this thing. Thanks for watching. I don't know why you do.